Alright, we're on. Hello everybody, I'm Movie Wisecracker, and I am doing a movie review on the 2017 film Borg vs. McEnroe. And what I have to say about this film is that I really enjoyed watching this, and it had 3 stellar performances by Stellan Skarsgård as Borg's coach, and it had a stellar performance by a man named Goodinson. It's Severe Goodinson. He played Borg. He did an excellent job. And of course, Shia LaBeouf played McEnroe. All 3 of these actors excellent. I like the whole premise of this film. What I enjoyed about it a lot is that not only does it focus on the 1980 Wimbledon match that did last about 20 minutes because they kept tying between Borg and McEnroe. What I really enjoy about it is that it not just focuses on the 1980 match, it also focuses on the psyche of Borg and also the psyche of McEnroe, basically. What I enjoy about it is that these performances are very excellent in what they do. It doesn't just revolve around the 1980 Wimbledon match. It relies on how they were brought up as children playing tennis throughout the years. That's what makes this very interesting. This film is directed by Jonas Metz. I don't know what other films he's done, but I'm actually going to look into seeing what other films he has done, because he's done an excellent job at directing this film. I also made a list of this film and why I like it. What I like is that they go back and forth on Borg and McEnroe while they're growing up. What I like is the foreshadowing, basically. It shows how McEnroe is a young man playing in Wimbledon, much like the age of Borg when he started playing at Wimbledon, in which he won about 15 years old. He won his first Wimbledon about 15 years old. And it's amazing to know that McEnroe is about the same age as he enters the 1980s Wimbledon tournament, and he actually gives a run for his money up against Borg. And what's amazing is when Borg was young, the way they depict him is that he was really impatient as he was an adolescent, about the same age as McEnroe. And that's how he can relate to John McEnroe, basically. Because Borg wasn't always patient. He had to learn how to get patience towards being a superior athlete. And in all honesty, they're both really good athletes. It's just one holds in his anger while the other one has outbursts in front of people publicly. That's what makes these two tennis players great. They're like the yin and yang, basically, of tennis. And what I enjoy about this is that I used to watch these films on ESPN Classics. They also have them on YouTube as well if you like watching the older videos of this. That 1980s match was amazing. There was certain points where you thought the ball was in from McEnroe. One time I thought it was in, but they ruled out that it was out. But if they ruled that McEnroe's ball was in, that match would have still been tied, and they still would have went overtime. But other than that, it's just amazing how they depicted it within film. I actually believe the actors, they did an amazing job. Wow. Shia LaBeouf was made to play John McEnroe. Like, literally. So is the other actor. Like, he played Borg very well. Like, I'm actually gonna look into more of his films because I know he's an up-and-coming actor. Shia LaBeouf's been around for a while, but the guy that played Borg, I'm really interested in him as well. And Skarsgård, wow, he played an amazing depiction of Borg's coach. That man really pushed Borg into becoming the champion he became. He won that Wimbledon 5 times. 5 times, that is amazing. I know they met. I know McEnroe and Borg met more than just the Wimbledon matches. Like throughout the season, throughout the seasons, they would meet like through tournaments. But they're known for the 1980s Wimbledon match, which is really cool. Like, I love how they go back to that match, and I love how it shows them going back and forth, how each one of them makes a mistake, and how each one of them comes back from their mistakes, and how it ends up becoming a draw each time, and how Borg how the commentators said that Borg wasn't going to be able to come back from this match, but he came back and he ended up winning the 1980s Wimbledon match. And what I like is the ending. Like when they're like at the area at the ending, they end up greeting each other and they're actually friendly with each other. Like, it's amazing how McEnroe is patient in the last Wimbledon match with Borg. And there's a reason for that too. It's because McEnroe's idol is Borg, which is cool. Like, I like how that ties into the film. Like, I know the film could have like discussed more into lives, but for what the film is, I actually really liked this film. It's very entertaining. Like, for what they gave me, like, this I have to put really high on my list of sports films. This is very good. Like, normally people like to watch like boxing or like football, but this actually shows a high point when tennis was like really, really popular within the 80s. Like, it's still popular, but these two guys were like titans for tennis, and they were like simply like mythical gods for this sport. Like, it just shows how much they're willing to go for what they believe in. Like, there's that one scene with Shia LaBeouf where he's talking to a news reporter and he tells him off basically. He says, if you knew the sacrifices they made, then they would understand what they go through every day to try to achieve their goals within athleticism. He basically told the reporter that they do not understand what it's like to put everything out on the line for being an athlete that has to go through all that stress, that has to go through all the mental capacity to even be mentally and physically fit to be an athlete of their caliber. Borg and McEnroe are amazing at that. Like, I know McEnroe gets impatient, but he was patient in that last match. He held in his anger a lot. And, like, during one of the scenes, What's-His-Face gives him a boost of confidence as they're playing. His own opponent, Borg, gives him confidence. He tells him to play his game. Basically, he's telling McEnroe not to let them get to his head as he's playing, basically. And that itself is wow. Like I just can't believe the performances in this. I'm surprised that this film didn't get more of a wider audiences in the US. Like, it's a really good film. Like, I know there's another tennis movie that came out called Battle of the Exes, but honestly, I like this film a lot better. Like, this is very great depiction of two great athletes that went to a far distance to reach their goals. Like, they both have been playing since they were children, and then they improved as they got older. And besides that, I'm gonna go to my rating now. Out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 4.5. I'd give it an A minus. Like, I give it an A minus because they could have went more into their childhood, but what they gave me was actually pretty good for what they gave me. Like, honestly, they could have like made like at least another 30 minutes of the film or another hour to like explain more of their lives. I know they were focusing on the main event and then they were going back and forth, but other than that, this is an A minus film. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna get this. If I could find it on Blu-ray, I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray. Like, I rented it. I rented the film, and it's worth owning. Every performance, great, superior, awesome. Well, that's all I have to say about this. I'm Movie Wisecracker. Please like or subscribe if you dare.